Hi, my name is Mr. Dillo, and today's lesson will be how to make a crock pot full of chili. First thing we want to do is review a few safety requirements in a kitchen. We must remember that a stove is a hot cooking surface. You do not want to touch it at any time. Most of your stoves are equipped with some lights that indicate that the surface is hot, so just be careful when you're working around hot surfaces. Another thing we want to remember is we're going to be using some knives in the kitchen, so we want to make sure that we practice good, safe uh, habits with our knife. We don't want anybody around us. We don't want to point the knife at ourselves. You always want to cut away from yourself, and you want to make sure that you use a good cutting board when you're cutting your fruits and vegetables up with the knife. So be careful with your knife. Another thing we want to remember is we're going to be draining some of the hamburger juices out today, and we want to make sure we don't drain the juices down a drain. We want to make sure we put the juices from the hamburger and some of the beans into a container and keep it separate from the rest of your recycle garbage. One more thing you want to remember when you're cooking hamburger, it can spatter, so you want to make sure that you do have some type of eye protection on, glasses or safety goggles if you need them, so that you don't get something spattered into your eyes. Now, some of the things we will need today: you're going to need a skillet, you're going to need a ladle, you're going to need a spatula, you're going to need a can opener, we're going to need a knife, we're going to need a crock pot, and we're going to need some measuring cups. Other than that, we're going to need the actual ingredients. The ingredients I use today, we're going to have one 40-ounce can of light red kidney beans. I use 2 cans of Hunt's 29-ounce tomato sauce. I will use 28 ounces of Hunt's petite diced tomatoes. I'm going to use 12 ounces of Kroger brand. You don't have to be real expensive on this. You can use Kroger brand jalapenos. We're going to need 1 whole onion, white or yellow. It's a matter of preference. We're also going to need our spices. I use mild chili powder, black pepper, ground cayenne pepper. I've got got these pre-measured in some measuring cups for us today. What I'll do is I'll brown my hamburger, get it brown so that you don't see any pink in your meat anymore. Drain your hamburger thoroughly into a container so that it doesn't go down the drain. I usually use just one of the empty cans of sauce or beans for that. I'm going to take my meat, I'm going to put it into my crock pot. I'm then going to take my my beans, my sauces, and my tomatoes. I'm going to put them all in the crock pot with the meat. I'm going to take my ladle, I'm going to stir that up nice and even in there. And I'm going to add my jalapenos, add my diced onions. I'm going to grab my spices. I've got my spices measured out. I'm going to take a 1/3 of a cup of your chili powder. That'd be your mild chili powder. You're going to use a 1/4 cup of your black pepper. You're going to use 1/8 of a cup of your cayenne pepper. You're going to put all that in there. You're going to stir it up. You're going to put your lid on your crock pot. You plug in your crock pot. Turn your crock pot on to high. Make sure it's on high. You're going to cook it 4 to 6 hours. Minimum 4 hours for safety purposes. After that, it's a matter of your flavor preferences. I usually cook mine 6 to 8 hours. After it's cooked for your minimum of 4 hours, you can turn your crock pot off. Remove the lid. Make certain you unplug your crock pot. Let your chili stand between 5 and 10 minutes. Let it cool off enough so that it doesn't burn someone when they take a bite of it. Get your bowls and your spoons out. Ladle out some of your chili. Put it into your bowls. Take it to your family. Be quiet for a moment. Listen. If you can hear them all say, mmm, you know you've made a good crock pot full of chili. And that is our lesson for today. Thank you.